What's going on, everybody? Al King, CEO and founder of Top Networkers Group. Always, it is a privilege, it is an honor to be able to share information with people. And whether or not a person actually takes information from there, hey, that's always on them. But I'm just glad to be able to give back because so much has been given to me. I know what I know, and so I know sometimes it can come across as if maybe I'm a little arrogant, but really it's confidence. Don't confuse confidence with arrogance. Now, in many of my videos, I throw nuggets out there like that one, and so I want to have a theme here, but sometimes, you know, sometimes what's more important is not that you're listening for a theme, but that you, the listener, are getting value out of the video. Now, if you're getting, value, real value, as always, please subscribe. Please tell a few other people about the channel. But ultimately, folks, what I want to talk about just for a few minutes is this topic of listening. Since that's what we're already talking about now, listening, getting value, staying on topic, so many things that can come up. But what really matters is, are you listening? Like, are you paying attention when people are talking? That's important. One of the most disrespectful things a person can do is not listen while someone is talking. Look, right now while I'm making this video, I'm sort of in a interesting area, so I'm on what's known as my P's and Q's. I'm keeping an eye out for my surroundings. However, just because I'm not looking at the camera does not mean that I am not fully engaged in what you and I here are talking about. I think too many people think listening means I have to be looking at you to listen. And that's not always the case. What does matter, though, is are you hearing what people are saying to you? See, if you're talking to me and I'm looking over here and you're talking to me, it doesn't matter where my eyes are. What matters is where are my ears? Right? Am I hearing you or not? Am I grasping what you're saying? So many people that we deal with in the world of business, they don't listen to anybody. That's the problem. That's the reason that the MLM industry has the huge attrition rate that it has. It's the reason that there are so many people that aren't making money, because half you guys aren't listening. You aren't listening. When I would go to meetings in my first network marketing company, I would go to meetings, I would go to seminars, I would look around and I would notice that there were a lot of people who were in the back talking while the meeting is going on. You can't hear and talk at the same time. When you're listening, you have to be quiet so you can hear what someone else is saying. And then your mind has to be quiet. You can't be off thinking somewhere. Again, if I'm looking off this way, that's one thing. But is my focus somewhere else while you're talking to me? Right? That's what matters, is am I with you here? Because if I'm here with you, I can hear you. And as you're talking, I can gain something. I can learn something. And there are so many people that they're so concerned with themselves. They're so focused on themselves. Their every thought is about themselves. So even as other people are talking to them, they're thinking about, what am I going to do tomorrow? What am I going to do tonight? How can I get this person to give me money? They're not even listening to what you're saying to them half the time. So here's a case in point. Earlier in the month, I was dealing with a brother who signed up for the 1MLM system. Maybe I would say 4 or 5 months ago. Okay, he is what's known as a lead status, which means that he never finished his sign up process. He never unlocked the free level. Right. Meanwhile, he's been struggling in MLM, and he told me a couple, weeks back that he was thinking about leaving MLM, and then we talked again, and he told me he finally decided that he's going to leave MLM. He's tired of all the unprofessionalism in the industry, but he's going to continue to support Top Networkers Group. Sounds good, brother. You have not supported Top Networkers Group since we launched in 2010. So how are you fixing your mouth to say that you're going to continue to support Top Networkers Group? Simple fact is, in his mind, he probably thinks he's supporting us because he's not even thinking about what he's saying. He's not even thinking about what support means. He's just talking to be talking. And not only should we listen to other people when they're talking to us, but we also need to listen to ourselves. If you're going to tell someone, oh, I'm going to support your business, I'm going to support, then actually do it. If you're going to tell someone, hey, I'm going to sign up in your business and I'm going to be your business partner, do it. See, one of the things that, and I've known this since we set it up, one of the things that we have in Top Networkers Group is a bunch of training. We have so much training. We have hours and hours and hours of training. And I know up front, a lot of people aren't going to sit and listen to hours and hours of training. And it's unfortunate, but these are the same people who aren't making money. The same people. It's because you haven't listened to training. Some people won't even listen to this video. And they'll never hear me tell them the reason why they're struggling is because you're not listening. You need to work on your listening skills, especially if you're in business. You need to be great at listening. You need to be able to hear and retain information. And if your memory isn't that good, you need to be listening to memorization tapes. You need to be learning. You need to be improving. Stop thinking that because you went to school, because you have a degree, you're educated. Look, Dr. Boyce Watkins said something earlier. I was listening to one of his videos. It was awesome. He said there's a difference between going to school and getting an education. There's a bunch of people who have gone to school and have no education. Right? There's a difference between having an education and having knowledge. Right? And I'll let Dr. Boyce break that difference down for you because he does it so much better than I do. But then he went forward and said, there's a difference between having knowledge and having critical thinking. To know something is one thing, but then to actually be able to critically think about it, to say, well, just because I've been taught something and just because I've learned something, is that really the truth? Let's go to network marketing. In network marketing, most of you are taught that if you want to be successful in this industry, you have to focus on one company. Now, just the other day, just last night, in fact, I wrote a super long post about MLM companies. And it's not my first time saying it, but I was extremely clear, and I said, look, the problem with being in one MLM company is one MLM company is never going to pay you enough money. Did you hear that? Were you listening? Let me say it again. The problem with being in one MLM company is one MLM company is never going to pay you enough money. And since you're not going to make enough money, you'll never be taken seriously by the people you're trying to recruit. See, in fact, the only way to really make money in network marketing is to recruit. You can't simply go out and get a handful of customers and make a decent amount of money from your handful of customers. Okay? You have to actually go out and build a organization. And I mean, okay, look. If McDonald's, because I'm actually buying McDonald's right now, I'm in the hood. If McDonald's only had 20 to 30 customers coming in per day, probably wouldn't make a lot of money as a McDonald's. But just right now, as I'm here and I'm looking around, there's probably about 30 people here right now. And when I leave, another 30 will come in, and another 30 will come in, another 30. So McDonald's get pretty good business around the clock as it is. So you as a network marketer, as a business owner, your goal is to work with other people to get enough customers buying product from your organization, from your company, within your company. But again, the amount of money that these companies pay out is almost never going to pay you enough money. to where you and your business partners can make a decent amount of income unless you have, thousands and thousands of customers. And so again, that can become discouraging. It can make people start to doubt this industry, start to doubt their ability to make money in it. It can harm a person's belief. It has a lot of impact. Okay, so what we're doing here through Top Networkers Group, through our 1MLM system, is we're telling network marketers, listen, we have to get clear about a couple of things. Vima just got shut down earlier in this week. They got shut down because of reps who were making income claims. And these income claims were being made because, again, there's so much competition within the industry. Reps got desperate. They said, well, I have to tell people that they're going to make a certain amount of money for them to even look at this information. And that's what they were doing. Now, that's the wrong way to go about doing it. And as a result, they got their company shut down. Okay? Yet at the same time, what if they would have done things the right way? What if they would have actually told people, look, this is going to be a real struggle. So we're not going to just make money from selling this energy drink. We're going to build an organization that sells various energy drinks. They would have made a lot more money if they were, looking at it from that angle of, we should be selling multiple flavors of energy drinks. We should help people find the best energy drinks. But that's not how network marketers have been taught to think. Again, there's a difference between having knowledge and having critical thinking to be able to say, okay, I know we should focus, but should we focus on a company? Or should we look at where we are in the industry and focus on an organization that moves product? Look, you guys, there's a lot of information out here. There's a lot of stuff that you need to be tuned into. And in order for you to really benefit from it, you have to listen. You have to shut all the distractions out. You have to actually sit down and listen to somebody else talk for a moment. Okay? It's not about you. Thanks for watching. As always, you guys, Top Networkers Group.